Hello, grade 11 students. Our topic for today is about one-to-one function. So first, we will determine whether the function is one-to-one. So A, given domain, which is -2, 4, 8, and 13, and its range is 0, 5, 12, and 18. So we will determine if it is one-to-one function or not. So since the domain and range, so sa domain, isa lang yung number na connected sa kanya, which is -2, 4, 8, and 13. So kahit bali-baliktad yan sila, basta iisa lang yung connected na function sa domain and range. So letter A is a one-to-one function. So next is letter B. So given domain is -2, 4, 8, and 13. And then range is 5, 12, and 18. So this example is not one-to-one function. Bakit? Kasi yung domain niya, which is 4 and 8, so iisa lang yung range nila, which is 12. So letter B is an example of a not one-to-one function. The function f is one-to-one if for any x sub 1 and x sub 2 in the domain of x, then f of x sub 1 is not equal to f of x sub 2. So that is the same y value is never paid with two different x values. So determining whether a function is one-to-one. So A, for the following function, the domain represents the age of 5 males and the range represent their HDL, good cholesterol, mg/dl. So age is the domain and then the range is the HDL. So this function is not one-to-one because two different inputs, 55 and 61, have the same output, which is 38. So napansin nyo ba na yung 51 and 68, iisa lang yung kanilang output, which is 38. So this function is not one-to-one function. So letter B, given pairs -2 and 6 and -1 and 3, 0 and 2, 1 and 5, and then 2 and 8. So this function is one-to-one because there are no two distinct inputs that correspond to the same output. So magiging function, yung function lang is magiging one-to-one kung iba-iba yung kanilang inputs that correspond to the same output. So for example, -2 and 6, so yung katabi niya is -1 and 6. So hindi na siya magiging one-to-one function since they have the same output, which is 6. So the given example letter B is one-to-one function. Letter C. So f of x equals 2x over minus 5. So f of x sub 1 equals f of x sub 2. So 2x sub 1 over 5 is equals 2x sub 2 over 5. So x sub 1 equals x sub 2. So meaning, kapag even numbers yung given dito sa function, which is 2x minus 5, so 2, ang 2 is even number, so the function is one-to-one function. So how about if the function given is odd? So letter D, f of x equals x squared plus 3 is f of x sub 1 equals f of x sub 2. So f of x sub 1 squared plus 3 and x of x sub 2 squared plus 3, meaning they are not the same. So the function is not one-to-one function because f of 2 is not equal to f of negative 2 equals 7. So next, determine whether the function is one-to-one or not. So the given function number 1 is f of x equals x plus 5. So highest degree is 1. So this is not a one-to-one function. Number 2, g of x is x over 4 plus 3 since the highest degree is odd number, which is x. So x is equivalent to 1. So this is not a one-to-one function. So number 3 is h of x equals 1 over x minus 2. So this is a one-to-one function. And then number 4, p of x is an equals absolute value of 2x minus 7. So since this is an absolute value, so this is not a one-to-one function. And then number 5 is t of x is equal to x over x to the power of 8 minus 2. So this is a not one-to-one function. So determine whether the given relation is a function. So if it is a function, determine if it is one-to-one. So example, the relation pairing of an SSS member to his or her SSS number. So the function is, the relation is a function and also it is one-to-one function. Kasi lahat ng member ng SSS is, yun lang talaga yung number nila. So this is a function and this is also a one-to-one function. Number 2 is the relation pairing. Number 2 is the relations pairing an airport to its airport code. So airport code pwedeng MNL, so Manila, DVO, Davao. So this is also a function and also a one-to-one function. So hindi pwede na yung code ng airport or airport code. So hindi pwede siya sa ibang lugar. So dapat isa lang talaga yung code nila, airport code. So sa code ko sa Manila, MNL, kung sa Davao, DVO. So ganon. So example number 2 is a one-to-one function. So number 4, the relation pairing a person to his or her citizenship. So example number 3 is not a function and also not a one-to-one function. Bakit? Kasi pwede kang maging American citizen as well as pwede ka ring maging Filipino citizen. So this is not a one-to-one function and also this is not a function.